Since the beginning of the world, history has recorded many examples of those who have not been in harmony with the prophets. In the early days of our dispensation, several of the 12, to their regret, did not stay loyal to the prophet Joseph Smith. One of these was Lyman E. Johnson, a member of the original Quorum of the 12 who was excommunicated for unrighteous conduct. He later lamented his spiritual downfall. He said, "I would suffer my right hand to be cut off if I could believe it again. Then I was full of joy and gladness. My dreams were pleasant. When I awoke in the morning, my spirit was cheerful. I was happy by day and by night, full of peace and joy and thanksgiving. But now it is darkness, pain, sorrow, misery in the extreme. I have never since seen a happy moment." He died in a sleighing accident in 1856 at the age of 45. Luke S. Johnson was also called to the original Quorum of the 12 in 1835. His spiritual resolve weakened over some financial speculation in 1837. Looking back later, he said, "My mind became darkened and I was left to pursue my own course. I lost the Spirit of God and neglected my duty. The consequence was that at a conference held in Kirtland, September 3rd, 1837, I was cut off from the church. By December 1837, he joined the apostates in publicly denouncing the church and was excommunicated for apostasy in 1838. For 8 years, he had a medical practice in Kirtland. Then in 1846, he and his family returned to fellowship with the saints. Said he, "I have stopped by the wayside and stood aloof from the work of the Lord, but my heart is with the people. I want to be associated with the saints and go with them into the wilderness and continued with them to the end." He was rebaptized in March 1846 and came west with the original company of pioneers in 1847. He died in Salt Lake City in 1861 in full fellowship at the age of 54. My counsel to the members of the church is to support the president of the church, the first presidency, the quorum, the 12, and other general authorities with our whole hearts and souls. If we do, we will be in a safe harbor. President Brigham Young said he recollected many times the prophet Joseph Smith saying that he had to pray all of the time, exercise faith, live his religion, and magnify his calling to obtain the manifestations of the Lord and to keep him steadfast in the faith. All of us may expect some challenges to our faith. These challenges may come in different ways. You may not always like the counsel the church leaders give you. They are not trying to be popular. They are trying to help us avoid the calamities and disappointments that come through disobedience to God's laws. We also need to support and sustain our local leaders because they also have been called and chosen. Every member of this church may receive counsel from a bishop or a branch president, a stake or a mission president, and the president of the church and his associates. None of these brethren ask for their callings. None is perfect. Yet they are the servants of the Lord, called by him through those entitled to inspiration. Those called, sustained, and set apart are entitled to our sustaining support. I have admired and respected every bishop I ever had. I have tried not to question their guidance and have felt that in sustaining and following their counsel, I was protected against the sleight of men and cunning craftiness. This was because each of these called and chosen leaders was entitled to the divine revelation that comes with the calling. Disrespect for ecclesiastical leaders has caused many to suffer spiritual weakening and downfall. We should look past any perceived imperfections, warts, or spots of the men called to preside over us, and uphold the office which they hold. The Holy Scriptures, as well as the local and general authorities of the church, both provide a safety net of counsel and guidance for the people of this church. For example, all my life the brethren have from this and other pulpits urged our people to live within their incomes, stay out of debt, and save a little for a rainy day. For rainy days always come. I have lived through times of great economic difficulty, such as the Great Depression and World War II. What I have experienced makes me afraid not to do what I can to protect myself and my family against the consequences of such catastrophes. I am grateful to the brethren for this wise counsel. The president of the church will not lead the people of the church astray. It will never happen.